There you go.
Okay, perfect. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to do this. We really appreciate it.
No problem, dear. I'm always excited when someone mentions my name, so I'm glad I could help.
Okay, so Alexis, do you want to go like every other question or something?
Yeah, I'll be having, or like, I'll have to bounce back and forth because my computer is not here. So,
Would you rather I just ask? Is that
um, if you want to, does my like camera cut out at all when I'm not on?
Mm-mm.
Okay, perfect. I can pull it up
okay?
and see.
So first, just about like the nature of the agency you're employed at. Is that like a is it large multiple groups? Or is it just like one program you're a part of?
Yeah, so dear, I own a group private practice. And so it is a group of contracted clinicians that come together to do therapeutic services.
Okay, perfect. Ashlyn, are you going to type for mine too? I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that would be
Yep.
easier. Okay. Okay, what is your job title?
I'm CEO.
What kind of educational background and training do you have?
So I got my 4-year degree from Iowa State University in Child, Adult, and Family Services with an emphasis on youth. And then I went back and got my master's at Drake University. So I have a master's of counseling with my specialization being rehabilitation counseling. And all that means, you all, is that I assist people with visible and invisible disabilities achieve their definition of success, whether that's through getting a job, going to school, or somehow, some way contributing to their community. Um, and that's basically mental health, right? Because you can describe it, disguise it, it's invisible.
Mhm.
And so that's where I got the degree at. And then I'm kind of scratching my head to think if I want to get my PhD or not, but we'll see.
That's awesome.
Yeah. One of my best colleagues, she's getting her PhD now, and I said, if you keep your hair, I'll consider
Yeah, I cannot
it.
imagine how much work that would be.
hmm
Uh-oh. Oh, there it goes. Sorry, my mom just tried to come in and show me something. So go away. Okay. What is your perspective or approach to addressing, oh, the issue? What was our issue?
Intimate partner violence and child
hmm
maltreatment.
Yes, thank you.
Those are two heavy
Yeah.
hitters. Well, here's what I've always when you're on the outside looking in, right? You always think about the obvious. Why don't people leave? Why do people stay? Why would you put your kids through something like that, right? And so that's what the societal norm, that view would tell us, right? But there's so many layers to intimate partner violence and child endangerment or child maltreatment. And it could be how I'm envisioning the question, you all, is that someone is in a domestic violence relationship and they have children who are present. That's how I'm hearing it. Or are you saying the two different issues?
We've been looking at how they go together. So,
Gotcha.
yep.
Okay. So, my dear, I was a sexual assault advocate for many, 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 many years, crisis intervention work. And so we used to get like dually trained by the Iowa Coalition Against Domestic Violence. And I'll never forget a time where someone who had an expertise in it said, you cannot demonize someone's reality. You have to fall in love with their partner so they can tell you details. And I was just like, wow. But it makes perfect sense because you get to understand. What was that? What is the partner's family like? Like, what was their family dynamic like? Why did they fall for this partner? What about this partner makes them always want that part of them? So basically, you have to learn the story before you judge it. Now, you might be saying, but Brienne, there's danger involved. Like, get these people away from each other. You are absolutely correct, though, right? That's why we always try to figure out in the story who's the supports. So the supports can take the children, or the supports can offer a place to stay. You might be saying, now, Brienne, these people are probably so sick and tired of them fighting like cats and dogs and getting in between and then getting back with each other. You're absolutely right. And so that's when, outside agencies and services become a thing. But because I'm a trauma therapist, you all, people are attracted to what they know and they're attracted to what feels comfortable for them. And sometimes chaos is all people know. And so helping someone rewire their brain to understand that love can look a different way, it is a hard thing to do, but it's a necessary thing to do. The average 7 people, it takes 7 times for someone to leave a domestic violence relationship because there's so much violence. And there's also this idea of poverty. So what if my partner is the one who's providing everything for me and my children? What am I going to do when I don't have anything? Which is a wonderful tactic of an abuser. So I think for me, my dear, in my profession, my goal is always to make sure safety is around, but also to learn the love story. So then I can not look like I'm trying to be like everybody else, but I'm trying to see her like you can still love that person or he, she, them, you can still love them, but can we get you away so you can love you too? That was a lot. That's why I said record.
No, that was really good information. I did not that stat about it takes
Oh
them
yeah, baby, it takes
time.
7 times.
I've never heard that, so that was interesting.
hmm You know what I'm also gonna do for you beautifuls? I'm gonna turn my AI companion on. That way from now on out, it's gonna start taking notes for us, and then I'll just send you what I got.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, why did something go wrong? No, nothing went wrong. Oh, because you're recording. Never mind. Just kidding.
Okay, that's okay.
Hmm.
Um, so do you have any like specific, obviously with patient confidentiality, but like
Hmm.
experiences or interests or challenges with this specific topic?
Yes. First of all, ethically, you all, we are not supposed to. So, our number one ethic is do no harm, right? And there's many ways you can harm people. And a lot of that could be countertransference or projection, right? You're telling me something, it intersects with something in my life, or I'm going to project on you my ideas, my opinions, um, because I have something unhealed back here, right? Or I didn't deal with something back here, or I'm saying you like my sister, so I need to get you out because I couldn't get her out, all the things, right? And so it is imperative that anybody who does this work always check in with themselves and check their motives and their intentions. Um, but I think also another challenge or barrier sometimes is we're taught that when you're doing counseling and therapy, like it takes like this long and then they're going to be like these new creatures, like they're going to be like so healthy and stuff, like after their third session. No, sometimes it takes a whole year. Sometimes it takes 3 years because you never know how long someone has been ingrained in the pattern of dysfunction. And so you sometimes got to ride the wave with people, especially if they have created an addiction in between all of that to cope and to numb the pain of everything. And so it is a slippery slope. So anyone who wants to do this work, please make sure that you are person-centered, um, that you respect the process, and that also you trust the process because sometimes it's not a straight line.
Mhm.
No, it's never a straight line.
Okay, and then what are the some of the most common or challenging issues that arise when you work with issues
Mm-hmm.
associated with our topic that I forgot again?
Absolutely. Nope, it's okay. The biggest one is that um, kids will forget, kids don't know, um, kids didn't hear, kids didn't see, and that is such a misnomer. From the ages 0 to 3, kiddos are picking up on safety cues and basic need cues and who will feed me and who are dangerous. Like even in utero, babies can understand. Like, I'll give you an example. Someone that I know was in a domestic violence relationship, severe domestic violence relationship, got pregnant. The violence continued and it intensified. When baby came out, baby kept eyes closed. Baby was tense like this. It took like 7 to 10 days for that baby to open their eyes. And we would, try to pull the eyes open and all that. It was so chaotic on the inside. I think the baby was like, I don't even want to know what's going on out here.
Hmm.
Um, and so it took a while for baby to learn it's quiet, it's calm, he's gone. There's other people involved that love you and want to hold you and want to love on you. And so that was something to see. I'll share that with you. It was painful to see. Um, but I will also say that a lot of people have this myth of comparison, right? So there are some people who get into relationships and they'll always say, "Oh, it wasn't as bad as that." Well, at least he didn't hit me. At least she didn't call me out my name. At least they didn't hit me with the car, you know? So they're always trying to compare to make sure that it wasn't as bad as the last time. But there is still violence, there is still maltreatment, um, and there is still coercion is taking place. But at least it wasn't as bad as the last one. And so that's usually why it takes so long for someone to come out of something because they're always comparing it to previous interactions they've had. I hope I answered your question.
Yes.
Okay. I'm
Um,
still high off turkey.
that's real. What type of programming or services are provided to address this
Mm,
issue?
hmm So a lot of times, my dear, I am introduced because a system got involved. So um, Health and Human Services, HHS, that is one that's usually called when someone has concerns about a child or a caregiver. So that's number one. Number two, though, if that's something that isn't done, here in Des Moines, they have Children and Families of Iowa. So they have domestic violence support services, they have child support services, and they even have visitation services. So let's just say that police got called, family got separated. Children and Families of Iowa can come in and provide those supervised visits for the family, um, just in case unification is a part of the process, because there's such thing as rehabilitation apart. And then, sometimes people trying to get back together, because honestly, they do love each other. It's just they don't have safe coping strategies. And so also within Children and Families of Iowa, there's some beautiful courses called Caring Dads, 24 Dads 24/7. They also have parent partners. So let's say that someone gets involved with the HHS system, formerly known as DHS. Um, as people are trying to get their children back and build their families back together, they have parent partners, people who've gone through the process, people who've overcome addiction or violent relationships, and they act as parent coaches or caregiver coaches, which is, I think, one of the biggest strengths that someone can have is someone who's overcome. Um, let's see what else is available. Of course, there's therapy at Forward Consulting LLC if they wanted to come to see us. Um, And there are culturally specific programs. So all over the state of Iowa, my dear, if you look at the Iowa Coalition Against Domestic Violence website, they'll share with you where domestic violence advocacy centers are, but a lot of them are culturally specific. So maybe they're from the Burmese population or the African population or the Latinx population. So there are services available.
Mhm.
Was the next one yours or mine?
I thought it was yours, but
I couldn't remember. Is there a particular model or theory that you utilize to guide the work?
Absolutely, my dear. I um I'm trained in EMDR. So that's eye movement, uh desensitization, rapidization. I think I said that wrong. Eye movement, desensitization, reprocessing. Yes. The terms kind of changed after, during some of the findings. But all that means, you guys, is I move people's eyes real fast in their head to recreate REM sleep. You know, like that after you eat Thanksgiving dinner and you want to take a nap and you kind of like start shaking. That helps people kind of reset their brain. And if you ever watched the Wildlife Channel or Discovery Channel, after someone is running, like a panther is running after a gazelle or something, and the gazelle outruns the panther, the gazelle will stand to the side of the screen, close their eyes, and they'll shake. And then once they're done shaking, they'll just walk off. And humans are supposed to do that after trauma too, right? All hell breaks loose. We're supposed to go to sleep, shake it off, wake up. Wow, we're back to normal. But human nature does not work that way because we have to raise kids, go to school, go exams, all the things, right? So, this actually is very powerful when you can't process something because the only thing you can think of is survival. And so many people build up experiences, but there are these themes, right? So themes of violence, themes of abandonment, themes of rejection. And usually with EMDR, what it does is it kind of gravitates everything to that theme. And one by one, you're able to create REM sleep. Now, how do you move your eyes real fast if you're awake? Good question. I have these things called TheraTappers. So it alternates in your hands back and forth. So it will move your eyes back and forth. Also, you can use your hands. You can tap yourself, alternating butterfly taps, drum your knee, but close your eyes and you'll feel your eyes move. So that helps people process. But the one that I love, 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 love the most is internal family systems. My dears, have you ever said to yourself, there's a part of me that wants to do this, but then there's this other part of me that wants to do this, but I don't know what to do.
yeah.
So, yeah, we do it all the time, right? So, internal family systems basically analyzes your parts. Like, why was this part created? And many times, parts are created inside of us as a defense mechanism, right? So I love to go and talk to people through their parts. Some people have sad parts. Some people have um, angry parts. Some people have childlike parts. And so it's really important for me to understand what part of a person fell in love with someone who treats them bad. Um, and then you'll learn it wasn't about them treating me bad. It was about what they did before. And it talked to the part of me that was lacking love or attention or connection or togetherness. And so that's the part that I usually like to talk to because it's like, okay, well, you can be that for that part now. I can help you. And so, yeah, those are the two strategies. And of course, narrative therapy. Oh, goodness. If someone needs to tell their story their way, narrative therapy is the best way because you get to allow them to have a pencil and an eraser and say, what part of the story sucks? What part of the story do you want to rewrite? And so those three I would say would help immensely. With kiddos, play therapy, um, and even EMDR. Um, Scribbling back and forth for kiddos helps to recreate that process, or that REM sleep for them so they can get nasty noises or nasty images or nasty names or whatever that they were hearing out of their minds. So it's pretty cool.
Is there any like specific background or experiences that a professional working with this issue would need? Like knowledge, skills?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. I mean, I think a lot of people go to college for sociology and psychology, which is great. But I would choose a specialization, right? So whatever the school has that you can add on to, I think is great. Anybody who is also versed in human development is really good for this. I would strongly recommend somebody to go to school for 4 years around human development and or something around the psyche of a human. I would then ask them to start working in the field because learning and then exposing yourself to the work, they're two different things. So start to work in the field, maybe volunteer at a domestic violence shelter, or an agency that helps moms rebuild after transition. Even a transitional home, like if a woman is coming out of prison or jail, working at a transitional home, residential home, could be good to get your feet wet in the work. I would offer you to also, if you're thinking about going into therapy, of course, you got to go get your master's. But making sure that you choose a specialization of therapeutic orientation. So, um, everybody is a CBT therapist when they come out of school. That's what you're trained in, cognitive behavioral therapy, your thoughts, your feelings, and your behaviors. Um, but when you're dealing with trauma, you got to have something that dives a little bit deeper. So again, specializing in maybe EMDR, internal family systems, brain spotting, um, things of that nature. And then making sure that you have a good supervisor or a good person who could provide you consultation. That would be good. Always having a peer, mentor, or a supervisor do the whole thing, I think is good too.
What systems or types of agencies does this program um work with in terms of like relationships and referrals?
Relationships with other agencies or relationships amongst patients.
Um,
I would say with other agencies.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so my dear, you gotta be heavy and you gotta know what's out there because you can't be all to all people. So yeah, we refer often. If also, so two things. Some people find safety in the services that we provide. And then it makes it harder for them to try to start their journey somewhere else or to have to tell their story to some other agency. And so we work really hard to do wraparound services. And so what that means, my dears, is let's say that working with somebody doing therapy, learn they need housing, learn they need support group, learn they need dot, dot, dot. So what I would do is I'd have my patient sign a release so that I can have contact with that referral source so I can with their approval, tell the story so that they don't have to keep telling their story to everybody and what they need and all the things. So, usually how that works is ask their permission for the referral, get the release of information, help bridge them to that resource, and then I help them talk to them, so they don't feel like they're doing it all by themselves. So, who are some of our agencies that we refer out to? Clive Behavioral Health. A lot of times, people hit low points and they can't get themselves out. So, any inpatient therapeutic program, we're down for. Applied behavioral health. Lutheran Hospital or Unity Point, I call them Unity Point, inpatient services. There are even some where they'll have to go out of town because there's no beds. So Mary Greeley, there's a program in Waterloo and there's a program in Fort Dodge. But yeah, dear, I can go on and on about the resources in which we use. I don't know if that would mean anything to you because you guys are UNI, so Cedar Fall
Mhm.
area.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So we chose we were supposed to choose like a race or ethnic group,
Mm-hmm.
and we chose Hispanic. Do you
Hmm.
know any like specific information you could give us on that relating to our topic?
Um, I can just give you personal experience, my dear. It's not
Mhm.
that it's the end all be all or the golden rule, but um there are a lot of experiences in which I've had in my professional life where Latin women are made responsible to stay home and take care of kids, and that Latinx men are the ones to go out to provide, and they are the breadwinners. And so sometimes, in some of my experiences working with women, they weren't allowed to ask questions about where does money go? What did you do with the money? They weren't allowed to ask for additional resource because I'm providing for you, and that's good enough. Um, I would say, my dear, I have a wonderful resource. I don't know if you want to reach out to anyone else, 'cause it sounds like someone wasn't available. Then you had to find me. But I have one more resource. Her name is Miss Medea Alonso. She's a beautiful soul. She's a part of our school board here, but she is a die-hard. She's been doing advocacy work for so, so long in the Latin community, generally around deportation, violence, sexual abuse, and domestic violence. So if you'd like her resource, I would love to give it to you. Um, I feel like I'm not versed enough,
Mhm.
but I would love for you to have access to her. She's beautiful.
Yeah, unfortunately, our project is due on Sunday, so we don't.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't really have time for that, but that would have been great.
That would have been amazing. If you can, though, I know that she's probably spoken. If you would, I'll put it in the chat, my dear. I don't even know if it saves. Oh, there it is. I don't know if it saves in the chat, but I'm gonna give you her name.
Yeah, I can include it in our notes too.
Yeah, put it in your notes, my dear. And I don't know if you can like Google her and check out her if she has any videos out there, but she's the best to ever do it, in my opinion.
Um, all right. Lexi, do you have any other questions or anything?
I don't think so.
I
Well,
hope this was helpful, you guys.
oh yes, it was super helpful.
Oh, good.
It's a lot better than doing research and just reading through articles. So,
Yes.
Well, if you have any follow-up questions, my loves, send me an email and I can email my responses back to you. But good luck.
yes,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Yes, enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You too.
You too.
Bye-bye.